Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. In Ramadan, there's always a great opportunity for multiplying your deeds by virtue of observing Laylatul Qadr. How can people really, see Laylatul Qadr for what it is, rather than start looking for it and, checking the signs? And so what are the virtues of Laylatul Qadr first? And secondly, how can I be one that really witnesses Laylatul Qadr?
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wa rasulullah. Laylatul Qadr, it's a night on Ramadan. And some of the Sahaba said one of the nights of Ramadan. It could be even the first night, second, third. Like it was narrated that Ibn Mas'ud said something like that.
So it said the whole year.
Yeah.
In one of the narrations.
Maybe one even narration. But Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in the beginning didn't know which night in Ramadan. That's why he used to make i'tikaf 1 year in the first 10 nights, second 10 nights. Then later on at the end of his life, he was told that it is in the last 10 nights of Ramadan. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam focused on them, and he used to make i'tikaf in the last 10 nights of Ramadan. So that's why the vast majority of the scholars said it's one of the nights of the last 10 nights of Ramadan. And Laylatul Qadr is Laylatul Qadr. Al-Qadr, it means مرفوعة قدرها, it's an honor, noble, great night. Also a night of decree. Al-Qadr means something decreed. Allah decreed in this night what will happen in the year, who will die, who will live, who will be accepted, who will go to Jannah, who will go to hellfire in this year, who will be forgiven, who will go to Hajj, who will not go to Hajj, and things of that nature. So many narration talk about things like this. So great things will be decided in that day, or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring it to appear, or will mention it to the angel to write it down. Okay, yeah. Otherwise it's known to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala way before that.
Which is called the annual writing.
Yes.
Yes.
So, and no doubt it's a blessed night. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ فِي لَيْلَةٍ مُبَارَكَةٍ. We have sent the Quran in a blessed night. And that Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the other verse, إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ فِي لَيْلَةِ الْقَدْرِ. We revealed Laylatul Qadr, which is the beginning of the revelation of the Quran, started in Ramadan with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So, and blessings, it means a lot of good comes to it, a lot of good comes out of it. And there is some even narration, first let's start with the authentic one, in Sahih al-Bukhari and Muslim, and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, whoever observed Laylatul Qadr, prayed Laylatul Qadr, غُفِرَ لَهُ مَا تَقَدَّمَ مِن ذَنْبِهِ. All your sins will be forgiven. All your sins will be forgiven. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, خَيْرٌ مِّنْ أَلْفِ شَهْرٍ, better than 1,000 months, better than 80 plus years of ibadah. What the fast, the reading Quran, the salah in that night, the ibadah that you do that night, it's better than 80 plus years of ibadah. That's why some of the mufassirin commented on this verse, said, whoever observed Laylatul Qadr for years, as if this person lived centuries. You adding every year to your age 80 plus years
of good deeds.
Good deeds, pure good deeds, no bad deeds. That's just incredible amount of reward. And even some went farther to say any ibadah you do, it will be multiplied. So sadaqah, as if you make sadaqah for 80 plus years. Quran, as if you do Quran for 80 plus years. Salah, and so forth. So that's one understanding. But the majority said, the understanding said, the ibadah of 80 plus years, less rewarding than the ibadah of that night.
SubhanAllah.
So that's make us understand the value and the importance of it. And the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, they were waiting for the Prophet ﷺ to tell them when Laylatul Qadr. Allah told Muhammad ﷺ he will inform him about when Laylatul Qadr. And by the way, informing the Prophet about when Laylatul Qadr is not because, okay, focus on this night and leave the rest, like what some people do today. No. It was giving to the companion of the Prophet so they can multiply their work, and they put more effort in that day and that night. They're already doing a lot, but this night will even do more and more. Not to make less, to do less than the other nights. That's not the point. So while they start arguing, it's going to be this, watch it, it's going to be this night, it's going to be this night. They start arguing, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prevented us from knowing when Laylatul Qadr because of the arguing.
Oh, subhanallah.
Arguing of the Sahaba. So what do you think of the arguing of this ummah will prevent this ummah from receiving from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala today? When we argue over little things and unfortunately, like, you lose a lot of khair. And that's why the ulama said one of the reasons Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hold back rewards and goodness and blessings from a person or a family or a community or a nation when they start arguing. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, because of your argument, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided not to tell me. Just seek it in the last 10 nights. Then another hadith came, and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, seek it in the last 7 nights. And another hadith said, seek it in the last 10 nights, in the odd nights.
Yeah.
And here some ulama said, like Ibn Taymiyyah, other raised the question, when he said the odd nights, how you count the odd nights?
There are two ways, right?
It is 2 ways. If you, let's say Ramadan is 30 days, Ramadan 29 days. If you start from the bottom up, because one of the hadith said, what the nights that left the odd
off.
night, the left off.
لثلاثة
Baqina.
بقين, yes.
Yeah, so
أو
3,
5 بقين,
yeah,
7 بقين.
3 left or 5 left. So that means you count from bottom up. So the first night will be the left from it's the 30th, the 29th.
Yeah.
Or if you go from the top, from the 21 going down, you will have completely different. So the odd will be even and the even will be odd. So that's what led the ulama to say, you know what?
Do the 10 nights all
The
together.
whole entire 10 nights.
Right.
Okay. And also there is a hadith shows that one of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum basically said it is in the 27th and in Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and in the 23rd and the 21st, and like Anas and Mu'adh and many different stories. It shows that Laylatul Qadr took place in different nights. That led majority of the fuqaha, many fuqaha, the Shafi'iyya, some of the Malikiyya, the Hanabila said that Laylatul Qadr is not one fixed night every night.
It moves every year.
It moves every year,
Yeah.
or could change from one year. And one of the reasons for it, so none of the nights of Ramadan will be abandoned.
Allah.
It's like what we see today, in the 27th, everybody comes. You know, but what about the rest of Ramadan? What about like the 21st, 23rd? You know, we should focus on all the nights of Ramadan. And if we want to put extra effort, you put it in the last 10 nights of Ramadan. And if you have to choose, let's say I can only take 2 days off. I will say, let it be the 27th. Because it's the most likely to be and the most common night to be is the 27th of Ramadan, counting from the top going down. And the night of the 27th, it means 26th night. Like,
Yes.
let's say 26 is Thursday.
Day 26.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thursday is 26. So Friday is 27. So the night of 27 is Thursday night.
Right.
Because the night in Islam or in Arabic language
Starts.
comes before the day.
Yes.
So,
Right.
yeah. So with this being said, I encourage everybody to focus on doing your best during these nights. And unfortunately, sometimes people like waste their time in things which is not like important. You know, just try to dedicate as much as you can.
It starts from Maghrib, because a lot of people waste a lot of time between Maghrib and Isha.
Yes.
Yeah.
It starts from Maghrib all the way to Fajr. And it just make sure that your intention is good. Make sure that you show Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala your love, your ibadah, your dedication, your tawbah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is one of the great acts of worship. Make dua for yourself and your family. There is some narration said that there is as many as the drops of the rain, angels comes down on this. Allah sent Jibreel that day, that night. تنزل الملائكة والروح.
Once a year, yes.
Allah sent the angel and the Jibreel. And to do what? To say Ameen. To intercede for you.
SubhanAllah.
To say Ameen for your dua. To say, Ya Allah, accept them.
Yeah.
And that's just a great honor for us. We should take full advantage of it. And I really would like to say also that there is some kind of practice that I don't see it as something to be, I don't encourage it, which is online, people start taking pictures and said, oh, it was Laylatul Qadr, it was this, it was yesterday, it was before yesterday. One of the reasons one person came to me and said, Sheikh, it looks Laylatul Qadr was the 21st. What's the point now?
A'udhu billah. Yeah, this is.
I said, first of all, nobody can guarantee that. Two, there is a point. Allah, every night, He free people from hellfire. Every night, there is an opportunity to move good. But sometimes these kind of discourage. And also, I'm worried to become من القول على الله بلا علم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَا تَقُولُ مِتَصِفُ أَلْسِنَتكُمُ الْكَذِبِ. Lying about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is haram. When you say it could be a lie, when you say this is Laylatul Qadr, how do you know?
I mean,
even these signs that you see, signs can be deceiving in a sense, because in logic, signs do not necessitate what they are signed for. Like, for example, what is the sign for rainy, for basically rain? That the streets are wet,
right,
or there is clouds.
right.
But if I go outside and I see the street is wet, it doesn't mean necessarily that it was raining. Maybe somebody was washing his car. It doesn't necessarily mean that. So the same thing, these signs can be, like for example, one of the signs of Laylatul Qadr, it was in one of the nights of the Prophet ﷺ, it was raining. But what about the people who live, for example, in some Middle East or Africa, where the doesn't rain at all, in Chad? Those people, masakin, have no Laylatul Qadr.
You're right, yeah.
It
just so happened that it rained on that night. Doesn't
also, the Prophet ﷺ said also that night, that day, the sun will comes and
without rays, like it's not
strong.
Yeah.
That can happen. It cannot happen. Like some places there is no sun comes out at all, like in north.
Right.
Or it comes very weak every day.
And people who put these videos on Facebook,
YouTube, and
a lot of times it's the filter in the camera cancels all of that glare.
Yeah.
Right?
So what do you need to focus on in your ibadah, not your, not your attraction on social media?
Yeah. Exactly.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide all of us and accept from all of us. Allah knows best.
I have a really good, I get a good thought about the hadith that the Sahaba, when they started arguing, they were deprived of the knowledge of when the Laylatul Qadr was on that year, or in that year. From that I understand that sometimes when we argue, we lose the truth.
Very good.
We miss it. But if we come together and talk without arguing, and just for the purpose of knowing the truth, that Allah will bless us with that.
And guide us. Very well said. Very well said. Jazakallah khair. Thank you, Sheikh.